Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV, DREZZED. This is Neon, and we're going to talk about all the news that doesn't really fit into a standalone video. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit. Trying live streaming out this month. I might do it for a month or so, see how it goes, see if I want to keep doing it. Depends on whether or not you guys watch it. If you guys don't watch us, then I guess we're not going to do it anymore. But so far, the response has been pretty good. We got people in. Look at that. People actually want to watch me talk about the odds and ends of the internet. The face of the man. Yeah, I've been on, everybody's like surprised to see me. I'm like, dude, I've been on camera for like 4 years now. It's just been on the other channels, been on the gaming channel that nobody's watching. Yeah, I've been on other people's podcasts on camera. My face is out there in multiple photos. Some of those are pretty old photos, but yeah. So we're actually going to do live, I think, a few times a week. And we'll see how it goes. Everybody's live streaming. So kind of part of the reason I didn't do the live streams sooner is like everybody's live streaming now and they're live streaming 24/7. I'm trying to figure out like, okay, I know some of these guys, I don't want to run up against them, but I'm also like, when am I supposed to stream? Because everybody's on at some point in time. So I guess I just put it out there and let you guys decide if you want to watch us or not. So, thanks for coming in. I don't really give much notice because I don't know when I'm going to stream. We do have other businesses to run, so it's pretty much whenever, I get a free hour or two that I can do it. Who's the strange non-drawing? Yeah. Austin says your voice actually matches what I expect you to look like. So weird because I actually look like the cartoon. Like I haven't lied. I look pretty much like the cartoon. Good timing so far. Yeah. It seems like early afternoons seem to do okay for us. And I've done night. I was going to do morning, but most people are like, I'm not awake enough. 9 o'clock in the morning or whatever. I'm like, well, cause personally I'd rather do it in the morning, get out of the way. But, people are like, they've got things to do. They've got jobs. Imagine that. You guys have jobs. So we got a bunch of, stories to talk about today. We're going to talk about the FCC. Brendan Carr is trying to set the record straight on why Jimmy Kimmel was suspended. It wasn't his decision, he claims. It was Disney and reacting to Nexstar and Sinclair pulling the show. And they're like, well, the advertisers are not happy. So we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about, Sweet Baby Inc. Apparently there's still a thing. And now cozy games are problematic. Because remember, cozy games for the longest time were like, Portland's favorite pastime, right? Hey, I like a good cozy game every once in a while. But we spent, like, if you guys go out to the gaming channel, Squid King and I spent so many hours playing Animal Crossing. It was ridiculous. There's probably 30 or 40 hours of Animal Crossing videos out there. That's kind of how we killed time during the pandemic. And we just made up goofy ass voices for all the characters. Weirdly enough. And then it's some weird twist of it's like the what do they call it? Synchronicity, right? So we had a dog character that was that was Squid King's favorite. We had this dog character, and the dog character, Triscuit's favorite was Walker, and then we wound up with Walter years later. He looks just like the dog. It's so weird. It's so weird, right? All right, so let me see here. Yeah, so go out and watch Triscuit, Squid King, and Neon talk about Animal Crossing, and hello from Wheeling, West Virginia. Yeah, you guys aren't too far from us. We're actually, everybody's surprised we're in the Pittsburgh area. We're outside Pittsburgh, but surprise face reveal. We'll get to super chats, guys. You don't have to do that, but it's so weird. I mean, it's Jimmy Kimmel situation. Like I'm watching I don't really watch. I mean, people don't believe me. I think they think because I tend to be fiscally conservative, and I think that, and you're talking to a guy who was a lifelong Democrat for the longest time, right? But I think that in a lot of ways, the far left has gone too far, and it's gone beyond parody. That I listen to all these right-wing talking head news shows, and I really don't. Like even Charlie Kirk, I was vaguely aware of who he was. I'm like, oh, it's that guy that South Park made fun of. But I've never actually watched him. So it's very weird for me to be like, people thinking that we're all into this stuff. But I was watching Tim Pool a little bit last night because he was talking about the Jimmy Kimmel situation. I'm like, okay, what's Tim Pool have to say about this? And we'll talk about it. He thinks Bob Iger was getting death threats, and that's why they put it back on the air. I don't know. I'm not chunky. I just have a fat face. Actually, my waist size is 34, which is good for a guy at 6'3". I'm not that fat. Anyway, but that's okay. I like being chunky. It's all right. Pleasantly plump. No, but like, yeah, he was thinking it was like the reason that they did it was death threats, and I'm kind of like, I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, do I think that Sinclair and Nexstar had threats? Well, they shot up an ABC affiliate. So dude, I got an 8-pack of soda in the fridge. It might be a 12-pack. Well, I drank 4 of them this morning, so that's how we get here, right? When am I going on open bar with Critical Drinker? This is so weird. Okay, this is another thing I want to talk about because everybody thinks everybody on YouTube knows each other. I don't know Critical Drinker. I've never met Critical Drinker. I don't think I've ever talked to Critical Drinker. I do know Gary from Nerdrotic somewhat. I was on Friday Night Tights a total of 1, maybe 2 times. Like, we don't know each other. Everybody doesn't know each other. It's so weird to be like, you're part of the whatever, and you're part of the group. And I'm like, dude, I just kind of mind my own business. Like, we're just kind of off in our own little world here. I do know some people somewhat, but just because we show up in your YouTube recommendations doesn't mean everybody knows everybody else. So yeah, I don't even know Critical Drinker. I've never talked to him, to the best of my knowledge. If I did, it might have been like offhandedly in a tweet. And Gary from Nerdrotic, I've talked to a handful of times. I know him somewhat, but I don't go on Friday Night Tights. Actually, I couldn't go on Friday Night Tights even if I wanted to for the longest time because one of our other businesses required that I be tied up on Friday evenings for like the last 4 years. So that's part of it. But we're going to be winding that one down. I'm not chubby. I'm just drawing the Tumblr art style. Yeah, my nose gets red too when I drink a lot. Interrupted by an ad from Google Games. What's so weird is I was listening to all I told you I was listening to Tim Pool the other night, and they started talking about the violence, and then all of a sudden it cut to a mobile game, and I heard machine gun fire, and I wasn't actually watching it. I was listening to it in the car, and I heard machine gun fire. I'm like, oh my God, somebody's like, shooting up their studio, and here was a freaking mobile app where you're fighting. It was like, I don't remember the game. It's some like cheesy ass AI looking thing with you're like shooting giant fat women. I don't even know what it's called. Like these games are getting worse and worse and worse all the time. Yeah. So let's see here. Let me pull this up here real quick and then we'll kind of start getting into it. Crash Cooter Coot. That's her name. That's what they call her at school. Crash Cooter Coot. How did Jimmy get forgiven for the Man Show? Damn near essay. Yeah, I don't know. There's some pretty creepy stuff on the Man Show. They'll just say, oh, it was entertainment, or he's been educated. He's been reindoctrinated or something. I don't know. Thank you. Did not have to do that. Reed Montgomery says, surprise face reveal. What's your favorite movie this year? I actually like The Monkey quite a bit. We watched Weapons. Weapons is okay. There's this whole thing, because I've been talking to Squid King, and Squid King is really into horror, right? So he's really into horror. But a lot of the horror movies now, I can't explain. It feels like hipster horror. It's like they have a certain look to them. It's like it looks like a music video, and they usually have like some kind of like folk rock or classic rock, and they have a certain aesthetic to it. But I did like The Monkey quite a bit. I did not like Long Legs as the other movie. It's actually Osgood Perkins. It's Anthony Perkins' son did those movies, and I don't like Long Legs. Had Nicolas Cage in it, but that was about the only thing it had going for it, in my opinion. You're allowed to like it. I don't care. You can like what you like, right? I mean, people get so mad they think we're trying to be like, you're like the cartoon Nazis. Actually, they don't use Nazi now. They use fascist because apparently it's cool to hate Jewish people. So now we use the term fascist. Did you notice that they keep moving the goalposts? Now it's okay. Apparently to openly hate Jewish people, and so we don't use the term Nazi as much as we used to. I'm a skinhead too. Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, I've actually been shaving my head since I was, my God, 22. I'll tell you what happened. This is the true story. This is one of my neon stories. My hair caught on fire. I used to have shoulder length hair. It was the 90s. And I was an alt rock DJ for a while. And then I was in a band very shortly in California. But I had like shoulder length hair and I have dark brown hair, and it was dyed like purple at the end. It was 90s, right? It's not like don't worry. It's not like a whatever flag thing for me, but yeah, so it caught on fire, and I just started shaving I shaved it all off because it was weird. It was like all crispy on top. And it caught on fire because I used to, as one of my many jobs, I actually was helping my one uncle burn wood pallets, and it got too close to the fire and my hair caught on fire. And yeah, I was like, I will never forget that smell. It's like half my hair. So I just started shaving my head. And I'm like, you know what? This is so much easier. It really is. So I just kept shaving it, right? So I'm just like, whatever. And I've been shaving my head since I was like 21, 22 years old. Like, I can't remember the last time I had a full head of hair. I joked about like growing it back and trying to, grow like a fro or something. I don't know. I don't think it would work. It'd be splotchy at this point because I'm too damn old. Anyway, let's see here. Throw a couple of these up and then we'll talk. Thank you very much. You did not have to. You really don't have to do that, but thank you. Sanders says, been following you and Geeky for years. About time to put a small tip in the jar. Fun to see real person neon instead of the avatars. Thanks for the content over the years to you both. Well, thank you very much. Actually, and again, funny story behind the avatars. The reason we started doing the avatars was twofold. One, we actually were on Disney's media list when we started talking about this stuff. So we're talking shit about Disney, and then we can't have our faces out there. So we're like, okay, we got to. Yeah, now it's cool to shit on Disney too. I remember for the longest time, if you shit on Disney, you were a literal Nazi. But we couldn't put our faces out there. And so we started using the cartoon avatars. And two, where we lived at the time was so noisy. We lived on a main street that, I couldn't keep like jump cutting everything. It would look really weird. So I'm like, yeah, just put the avatars up and we'll just, cut everything. And, people won't know the difference. It'll be audio only. And that's kind of why we did it. But thank you. Thank you very much. Did not have to do that. I appreciate it though. Let's see here. We've got Operation 1. Happy Jewish New Year to all my fellow Jews in the chat. Shana Tova. Okay. Well, there you go, guys. Yes. Confirmed. We do not hate Jewish people here. I don't hate anybody. I don't want to hate anybody. I mean, my thing is like, give me a reason to hate you. Even then, like, I think for the longest time I tried to talk sense into people, and now I've just gotten to a point where I'm like, I don't think you can. There's some people you just cannot reason with, you cannot talk with. You can't talk it out. Their goals are very different from yours. You're assuming they want a peaceable solution, and some people just, they don't want you around at all. It's horrible. That's the world we live in. The last display, thank you, did not have to do that. Film Threat guys have mentioned Clownfish TV a few times. That's Chris Gore, right? Yeah, I don't really know them that well. It's so weird. I know a handful of people in the space. I do talk to Wes from Thinking Critical quite a bit. I talk to Aaron Sparrow because I've actually known Aaron Sparrow for damn near 20 years in real life. We've traveled in the same circles. We both did Disney comics for a while. So we're both action figure collectors. But yeah, I really don't talk to a ton of people. It's so weird. Everybody thinks we do. They think we all hang out. Flame, thank you. Didn't have to do that. What age point in your career did you become black-pilled on the realities of being an artist? When I realized that I could make more money doing literally anything else. And that's the truth. And I'm not trying to be like all like Debbie Downer about art careers or anything, but working in comics okay. So case in point that, Gretchen Wieners or whatever their name was, what was it? I want to say Nightwing. It was Red Hood, DC Comics writer that got fired from Red Hood, which is a Batman title, was complaining about being out their entire income of $1,400 per month on a DC book, on a Batman book. Okay, that should be a pretty eye-opening experience. Like literally you can go work at Walmart, you can go work at Starbucks, you can go work at Lowe's, and in most cases, unless you're like a top shelf creator, you're not going to make very much money. I think they said the average for a Western comic book creator at this point is like $25,000 a year. And they were giving out advances, I know, for some of these graphic novels, and it was like $10,000, $20,000, and you're supposed to live on that for a year or two to get your book done. I'm like, yeah, it's not gonna, that's not gonna happen, right? So that's kind of what did it for me. And I'm like, you know what? I kind of like having a family. I kind of like having a house. I kind of like having health insurance. So I'm gonna have to go do something else. I mean, that's the truth. Thank you, Grand Wazoo. I love Snoopy, by the way. Watch you and Geeky since 2019. How time flies for the tip jar. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Operation One, isn't Geeky kind of shy in real life? Yes. I believe she mentioned it once in the past. I assume that's part of why she never appears in these streams. Yeah, that, and I think a lot of what I talk about bores her. I mean, it does. Some of the topics I pick, I think, bore her to tears. And she's like, I don't want to talk about the tech industry. I don't want to talk about this stuff. Yeah, T with B, good afternoon. Buzz or full on shave? Depends. Right now I'm lazy. I probably full on shave about once a month. You know, it depends. If I want to kind of start over, you know, like start clean and be like, yeah, I'll just shave it down. I really do. I do need to try growing it in and see what happens. I don't even know. It's kind of like Seinfeld, where the guy was a swimmer and he'd been shaving his head for years, and then he tried growing his hair back in. He's like, oh my God, I'm losing my hair. And that'd be me. I'd be like, oh my God. Yeah, this is, I mean, not to get too political here, but there's a lot of issues going on right now with Israel and Jewish people, but we're seeing it. We're seeing a lot of anti-Semitism now. And it's just, I find it ironic because anybody that was on the right, even if you weren't on the hard right, if you were conservative-ish, conservative-leaning, they considered you a Nazi. And now I'm like, they've changed the terminology because they don't want to own it, right? That's what the whole thing is. Take a sip of my cancer juice here, and then, God forbid, I jinx myself. All right. So, Geeky went to Walmart yesterday, and they had a bunch of PS5 games on clearance for $5. So she got me a physical copy of Helldivers. I do have the digital. I've had it for a while. I haven't had a chance to play it very much, but I've had it for a while. And then we got the physical copies. And they had Tekken for $5, Tekken 8 for $5. They had, oh my gosh, what else did she get me? Spider-Man, Miles Morales was $10. So it was kind of crazy. It was like they're just like clearing PS5 games out, like just insane. One more super chat, and then we'll get into the actual news, right? Life is good, thank you. Hey Neon, any thoughts on Google, YouTube admitting the Biden administration forced them to censor conservative channels? Love your channel. Yeah, it's really interesting to see all these people come out now and being like, yeah, the White House, because I know we covered Zuckerberg, and he was talking about how they'd call up Facebook and they would scream at him and tell him to take stuff down. So I think mostly in regards to COVID, mostly in regards to the election, whether or not people thought it was stolen. And weirdly enough, there's like more actual misinformation, I think, on Facebook now and YouTube now. YouTube doesn't care. Like, that's the thing. YouTube doesn't, at this point, they don't really give a shit. And it's kind of like, I think that's part of the reason why, I think some of these alternative channels. Now, we actually started mirroring on Odyssey too, and we've been on Rumble. People are like, "Oh, are you on Rumble?" I'm like, "We've been on Rumble for, God, probably 3 or 4 years now." And, yeah, it's just kind of wild to see the pendulum swing, because Fox News is one of the most streamed channels on YouTube. And, again, streams like Tim Pool, he always has like 40, 50,000 people watching him at once. And, so I don't think there's as much censorship as there used to be. And also they're not going to censor people when they're just, promoting AI slop. So, so that's a whole thing. Okay. We'll do a couple more here. And I really got to get to the news at some point. Deha. Oh, thank you for spelling that. Thank you for spelling that out for me. Last live stream of yours I caught was when you had the whole family on as avatars. Thanks for being my go-to site for nerd news. Well, I really appreciate that. We try to be balanced. I mean, it's so weird. Like I go out to Reddit and there's another, and it's always like saltier than Crater, like the Shira forums or something. Like the parents took too much Tylenol. That's a whole nother thing. But like they're trying to say that Clownfish TV was like the gateway to the right-wing YouTube channels, and that's what radicalized them. I think they just put it out there because they're hoping that the media will catch up. Clownfish TV is radical. I'm like, we are like the most freaking milquetoast. Like I try to avoid politics, but you can't avoid it. But thank you very much. Tiananmen Square, 1989. Oh my God. Am I allowed to say that? Did that happen? I've been watching you guys for years. Watching the channel grow has been very cathartic. You guys deserve it. I appreciate that. Some people don't think we do, but I appreciate that. Y'all are basically my news. Appreciate the grounded approach you guys take. We try to be. I mean, that's what's so weird. Like my goals, I think, look, again, maybe it's because I'm Gen X, but like I just want things to go back to normal and I just want to be left alone. You know, it's like, I'm a very simple guy, right? I seriously, I just want to kind of be left alone. I think we both kind of just want to be able to, enjoy hobbies without having things get political. And, every time we think it's over, we think, okay, well, this is, things are going to normalize now a little bit and people are going to calm F down. They don't. They ramp it up to 11. And it's just, it's really depressing because we never used to have these conversations about media, about pop culture like we do now, where seriously, everything you look at, you pick up a book or you watch a movie or you play a video game, and it's all like, who's, what's their political take. And I think it's oversharing. I think the internet has definitely contributed to that. Operation One, thank you. You didn't have to do it. Been meaning to ask you, speaking of writing, and published a sci-fi book about an alien getting mixed up in the Cold War. Want to know if you'd be interested in that for your podcast. I don't know. We're gonna figure out what we're gonna do with guests and stuff. We're trying to bring our websites back. Google nuked our websites. It was just depressing as hell, but they did that to everybody. Now they're kind of walking it back, but they're acting like they didn't do anything. They're like, the AI is just learning how to do its thing. So we might be able to promote more indie stuff. I'm not really sure yet. I'm not sure what we're going to do, but definitely, I know you reached out to us on Substack. I just got, I am so busy right now. People have no idea the stuff we're working on in the background. But if opportunities present themselves to promote more indie work, which I'd like to do, I just need to figure out a way to do it that's equitable, because if I promote one person and don't promote somebody else, then people get mad and then they start making, and this is why, I'll tell you the truth. This is 100% true. We used to promote independent people on the channel more when we first started. We used to do comic books or Kickstarters or whatever, and we'd promote these people. We'd have them come on. I stopped doing it. And the reason I stopped doing it was because the people who didn't get a turn for whatever reason, they started hating on us, and then everybody started fighting over it. And then everybody thought they were allowed to be on too, and that we were going to do, and again, it's nothing against, the other streamers that have, a bunch of people on, they all promote their project, but that's not what we were. And they all thought, well, I should be able to come on and promote my stuff. And I'm like, well, maybe if I'm interested in your stuff, maybe. And then it just got to a point where it's like, I can't have anybody on because people fight over it. They do. And I'm like, well, I'm just fine. That's it. There's no more promoting anybody because everybody is turning into assholes over it, and that's kind of what happened. I mean, I have to figure out a way to do it that's equitable. Right. Red Mask says, love Crimson Ren. Your art style will be very good for the book I'm writing. That was actually Jose Garcia, and he started working on Ren too. And we got publishing plans. We're just trying to get our house in order. You guys have no idea the bullshit we've been through in the last year or two. We don't overshare. We don't talk about all of our stuff going on in public, but yeah, we had some interesting times, guys. Interesting times in business. Let's just put it that way. And, but we're getting there. We're going to start bringing our stuff back. We got a tabletop RPG. So we're going to try to pivot more into making stuff. So we're not just, shitting on stupid people all day, but you know what? There's a lot of stupidity to go around. So why not? Why not? Kid Insanity reposted this stream. All right. Thank you, Kid Insanity. It's a lot of people. I mean, I don't, sounds like comics gay drama. I don't have anything against anybody. I'm going to be honest. Like, I just, my whole thing is you know, again, and it's nothing against anybody personally, but you open up Pandora's box and you start platforming people and they get mad. And then what happens is you have one person, like I had Doug Tenaple on early on, like probably 8 years ago. And I had these people get mad at me because I had Doug Tenaple on. We didn't even talk about religion. We didn't talk about Comicsgate. Seriously, the entire conversation was just video games because he worked on Earthworm Jim. So we talked about video games and his book and working in animation. And we avoided, spicier topics, and people still got pissed. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Right. And if I have somebody on who's maybe more left leaning, people are going to get pissed at me for that too, even if I would like to talk to them. There's some people I'd love to talk to and just talk nerd stuff about and not talk politics. And, it's people just get pissed off. It's so weird. It's so weird. Anyway, let's get into this. Okay. So how far am I into this? 26 minutes, and I just am getting into the news now. I swear to God. That's why I don't live stream, because I talk too much. Brendan Carr put this up. So the narrative that's going around with Jimmy Kimmel is that Jimmy Kimmel was pulled off the air because of the FCC and Trump, and that's not actually what happened. And we've been following this since the beginning. What actually happened was Disney decided to suspend him because Nexstar and Sinclair would not broadcast a show because he basically said that the shooter was MAGA and MAGA was denying it. And, it lasted all of like 3 days, I think. It lasted all like 3 days. And so he's putting a statement out there because even mainstream media outlets are running with this, that it was, Brendan Carr and censorship and whatever. And look, I agree 100%. I don't think the government should be getting involved in censorship unless the speech is actually dangerous. I don't agree with people being censored, even if I disagree with them, as long as they're not saying dangerous things, they're not calling for death threats or whatever. Hassan. In that case, I think you need to step in. But it's being misrepresented as the Trump administration trying to take down Kimmel. And that's not actually what's going on. It was the stations decided. So he's setting the record straight. So and I mean, I've got issues with the FCC too. I think that what is going to happen as a result of all of this is I think there's going to be a lot more censorship for everybody, including people like us. I think that the FCC might get involved in streaming, and I know people are like, "Oh, that would never happen." I'm like, no. I think it totally could happen because I've seen, especially when it comes to video games, and we've got, RFK out there saying, video games are potentially dangerous just a couple of weeks ago. And I'm like, I saw this before, man. Again, I'm Gen X, lived through the 80s and 90s. I saw the Satanic Panic, saw that go down. I saw, the ESRB stuff go down because of Mortal Kombat and Night Trap and, Columbine, Doom, all that stuff. And I'm like, I can feel it coming. I can feel a massive overcorrection. I think a lot of normies will be okay with it because they don't give a shit about video games and stuff. They don't care. To them, it's all the same. So they'll be okay with it. That is my personal opinion of what's going to happen. Anyway, Brendan Carr said on Kimmel, the Democrats are engaged in nothing more than projection and distortion. Projection because Democrats are the ones who spent years illegally weaponizing government to silence dissent, which is true. They were, I mean, again, we've got, Mark Zuckerberg coming out and talking about it and YouTube and they were actually putting pressure on social media platforms to silence people. And it's Democrats that will do it again. They're openly telling you today, distortion because Democrats want to blame anything other than Disney and their local TV station for Kimmel's suspension. Those businesses decided that in their view, a suspension made sense. The reporting on this is clear. That is actually true. And that's actually coming from left-wing outlets as well. But everybody keeps running with this whole, the FCC is going to crack down and it's, freedom of speech and all that. This was Disney deciding they didn't want to lose money. And a whole bunch of their local stations said they're going to preempt Kimmel anyway, and they tried to talk it out. As I understand it, they tried to talk it out with him, and he would not agree to walk it back. So they're like, well, then you're suspended. Like, you don't make us enough money anyway. And then everybody started boycotting Disney, which, again, is so funny Because if you boycotted Disney a year or two ago, if you had any criticism of the Walt Disney Company at all, you were a literal Nazi. You were a goose-stepping Nazi. And now it's like, no, the moral thing to do is to boycott Disney because of Jimmy Kimmel. I'm like, Jimmy Kimmel is a line in the sand. Are you freaking kidding me? Jimmy Kimmel is a line in the sand. That's it. Notably, this is the first time recently that any local TV stations have pushed back on national programmers like Disney, and that's a good thing because we want more empowered local TV stations. I agree with that. After all, local TV stations, not the national programmers, have public interest obligations, and they should be making decisions that, in their view, meet the needs of their local communities. So walk through all this in my Concordia remarks yesterday, which are posted below. So Scott Wiener saying he can't wait to break Sinclair up. Corporate media consolidation doesn't jibe with democracy. Bitch, you're talking about Disney. You know, I'm like, wait a minute. You're going to go after Sinclair, but you're like patting Disney on the back for putting Jimmy Kimmel back on the air. I'm like, I can't even. So this is what the problem was. And this is still up. This is on The Verge. And this was right after the assassination. There's a lot of political incentive to classify Kirk's alleged killer as either a liberal or MAGA, but there's no clear partisan box for deeply online. I think it's pretty clear what his leanings were at this point, and that was what Kimmel was running with, is that, you know, MAGA is trying to disown this guy who clearly was MAGA because guns, right? Couldn't possibly be one of ours. And that's why he got the pushback he got. I mean, it really is. It's very well documented, and I don't know why they keep trying to change the story. Like, do any basic fact check, and it's like you can see what actually happened, right? You can see what happened. Let's see. We got a couple more here. Operation One, thank you. Didn't have to do that. I understand. It's all good. Just sorry for having to reach out this way, but I can't contact you otherwise. Thanks for responding. We have a very aggressive email filter because we've gotten threats from terminally online people using Proton Mail and Mail Me and all these other like fake ass accounts. So we have certain email providers we will not take mail from just because I'm like, yeah, I can't. Yeah. And then we have an unsolicited feedback box, which is pretty aggressive as well. Sorry about that. And NXRD, thank you. There's a YouTuber I ran into that's so astute. She pointed out there are heroes and villains today suck because the ideology of the people writing it are post-modernists. Yeah, they want to tear down heroes. It feels that way. It really does. You see it all the time. Jim Ross, thank you. Did not have to do that. I tried a couple of times to purchase Neon graphic novel. First distributor said my over 100-year-old town, Alberta, couldn't be delivered to. Second time was told it should come a few months ago. Nothing. Yeah, what is, send me, where was that from? Because we haven't offered that book in a while. We're going to see what we have left. I don't know if we're going to offer it again. We have another campaign we have to fulfill that one. So a lot of those books are spoken for, but try to shoot me if you're on, I think you follow me on Twitter. Try to shoot me a line. I'll see what's going on. But we're not selling those currently. So I know people are selling them on the secondary market. I don't know what they go for. I have no idea. T with the B, Gen X here, and I love you and Geeky. Your thoughts on WDW with pricing of resorts and tickets, even as Florida residents? Expensive. Pop Century is $240 a night. Yeah, no, it looks like a freaking Hilton, right? So much for refurb and closing, and 2026 is way worse. Yeah, the value proposition's not there. I mean, beyond the fact that I'm not happy with the direction that Disney's going in, just on a creative or political level or whatever, the value proposition's not there. $240 a night is insane for Pop Century. I remember when we first started going, Pop Century was like $100 a night. And during the pandemic, we went to Universal and they just opened the Surfside or Dockside, or both up. I don't remember which one it was. I think it was Surfside. And we got a suite for like $120 a night. It was crazy. It was less than that. It was insane. Operation One, thank you. By the way, is it Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Imbecile? Well, I don't think he's that bright. I think he's got people that write his stuff for him. As a member of Gen X, retired boss. Yeah, I had to start that one because that's how I feel. I'm just like, I'm so tired of it. And I think more Gen X need to speak up and just be like, yeah, this is just nonsense. I mean, everything going on right now is just absolute nonsense. So let us go back here. Hide current comment. Okay. Did you guys see this? I'm not sure how I feel about this. This is, and I'm not gonna play the music because I don't want to get dinged, but they're actually playing the Pokemon theme song, Gotta Catch 'Em All, as they have ice raids. And I thought it was a meme. I thought it was a joke, and it's actually coming from Homeland Security. I'm like, oh my God, is this where we're at? I mean, I don't know. I'm just like, it's kind of wild to see this. Like, we are living in the weirdest damn timeline. I swear to God. So I joked, I said Nintendo's lawyers are going to see that and they're going to come after the government for it. And they probably will. I could totally see Nintendo doing that. I could totally see Nintendo coming after the government for this and being like, why are you trying to tie our wholesome Pokemon game to controversial government decisions? And then they'll be like, also, here's a cease and desist. Also, we're going to sue you because we're Nintendo and we sue everybody. Yeah, well, here, the very first comment. We need to channel all of the world's energy into Nintendo of America and Pokemon to sue the fucking shit out of Homeland Security for unauthorized visual representation. Weakness, ice. Oh my God. Nintendo watching this knowing damn well they don't have the resources to sue Homeland Security. They might. I don't know. They sue everybody for everything, right? We'll talk about Power World and stuff too. It's kind of crazy what's going on there. They've got a cozy game coming out, and I'm waiting for Nintendo to sue them because it looks too much like Animal Crossing. Oh yeah, okay. So people are like, you guys are only criticizing the left, you're not criticizing the right. Well, the Pokemon Homeland Security thing, I think, was pretty questionable. Yeah, whatever. I mean, whatever. But this is just outright wrong. This is, and look, again, I'm not trying to put people in the crosshairs, whatever, but Libs of TikTok posted a GWAR video where they're disemboweling a Trump puppet and said that, oh my God, guys, at Riot Fest in Chicago, they simulated the bloody disemboweling of President Trump on stage while people cheered. This is incitement. They know what they're doing. Democrats can't help themselves. They love promoting violence. They got community noted. Rightfully so, because GWAR does this to literally every government official. This is part of the shtick. I mean, they've been doing this forever. I think they did the Pope too. I mean, yeah, exactly. Gregory says she's a 30-ish Jewish mother. She does not know about GWAR. Yeah, GWAR has been doing this forever. And GWAR is, it's pretty intense, but it's supposed to be so ridiculously over the top that, nobody would actually believe it. But yeah, to call it incitement. They do it the leftists too. Yeah, they do. Here they're killing Obama. Here they're killing Clinton. They went after Biden too. Like literally every political figure. Any authority figure. They've been doing it since like the late 80s, early 90s. GWAR's been around for a long time. Yeah, they've been doing it since the 90s. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of like, and the thing is, they got community noted, they got retweeted, and they roasted the hell out of them. And I don't think they posted a retraction or anything. Like, hey, yeah, how you do, fellow kids? I don't know anything about GWAR. It's like, come on, man, Beavis and Butthead, right? So this is what I'm talking about, right? When I talk about overcorrection in pop culture and censorship, is that I think we're going to get a lot of boomers that they're not steeped in pop culture. They don't play games. They don't listen to music, rock music or whatever. And it's going to be like the satanic panic all over again. And it's going to be done in reaction to the left being ridiculous. And, that I'm concerned about because I can see it because again, being older, right? I'm not a 22-year-old being older. I'm looking at this and I'm like, I have felt this before. I have felt these winds before. And the last time it happened that I can remember very distinctly was the 90s with the ESRB, and then late 90s with Columbine. And everybody blamed Doom for that. But I remember even when I was a kid, you know, everybody was like, you mentioned Dungeons and Dragons, even though it was crazy popular. It was like, oh, it's that satanic game because, you know, Pat Robertson thinks the devil, you know, made him do it. And then they were running the Tom Hanks movie, Mazes and Monsters. It's like, well, Dungeons and Dragons is going to make you kill yourself. I'm like, yeah, you know, sometimes I look at what they're doing. I want to kill myself, but I'm not actually doing it. Tea parties and prom make me want to kill myself, but I'm not actually doing it. Tipper Gore, yeah. This is what's going to happen. Again, you know, I understand clamping down on actual violent speech. I understand that. Okay, hold on. It's basically unreachable. Am I unreachable? It's not intentional. I'm unreachable. If it seems like I'm unreachable, it's because we've had a lot of crazy people send us all kinds of threats and shit. Tell you what, I will send you this. I don't think I can send you a DM. And hopefully that goes through the filter. But yeah, we get a lot of threats. So I had people kind of go through, which is so weird. We are so milquetoast. I know what it is. It's just basically a bunch of Redditors messing with us, but we had to really ramp up our filters. So there we go. All right. Poke at Clownfish TV. There you go. You have normies and tourist money things. Yeah. All right. So that's what kind of concerns me. I gotta get through some stuff here. This I'll touch on briefly. I'm just like, so apparently, they think Tylenol causes autism. You know, it's yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm not even gonna pretend to know I just thought that was a very like out of left field thing to come out. They're like, oh, hey guys, we have a huge announcement. It's Tylenol. It's baby aspirin. It's, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know what happens next. I know that they were talking some like pill or something that they were I'm like, we live in the weirdest damn timeline. We really do. I mean, I guess it's like thalidomide, where, you know, moms were taking it to, what was it, a sleeping aid or something, and then, you know, kids were being born without arms. But I don't know. It's just it was a very weird thing. What do you guys think about this? That'll explain my autism. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly can't answer this. I know, of course, because Trump announced it. Now, this is what's weird. Okay, so let me, without saying yes or no, because I don't know, right? I'm not a scientist. I'm not a, you know, yeah, I'm not a scientist. I'm not any kind of doctor or whatever. I do know that myself personally, I have issues with experimental drugs, because I know that at the end of the day, I know this from firsthand experience because my family actually worked in the medical field for years. And so, you know, I know it's a business. So I'm always skeptical. I was skeptical of the vaccine when it was first announced because of the amount of time it took to fast track it. You know, it was just basically none. But just to show you how political things are, I remember distinctly when Trump announced the vaccine and all these left-wingers said they refused to take it because Trump was going to try to kill him with it or whatever. And then as soon as, even though Trump was the one that set the wheels in motion, then when it came out, it was under Biden. And then because it was under Biden, it was a good thing and everybody had to take it. It's just very weird how political medicine even, you know, medicine is political now. It's so freaking weird. So I don't know. And they're saying that there are no autistic people in Cuba. Why they don't have Tylenol in Cuba? Is that what's going on? I don't know. But the timing of this is just very weird. You know, and it sounds crazy. I mean, it sounds kind of crazy that I'm even thinking this way, but like, because they're talking about labeling Antifa as a terrorist organization. They're drawing lines between furry games and anime and autism and Antifa. like, where is this going to go? Is it going to be like all these like terminally online furries? We're going to like round them up. I have no idea. It's just wild. I mean, it's just like so if I had a fever dream, I don't think it would be as crazy as things are right now in the world, right? I've had tamer fever dreams than everything that's going on right now. But just putting it out there, I had pulled up in a tab. Again, I'm not a scientist. I have no idea. Yeah, but they did make science a political thing, a religious thing. I think I need to catch up here. I am not doing good. All right. I am not good at live streaming, guys. I apologize. Let me see here. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. If I miss somebody, I'm really sorry. Doc number 27 says sense of humor shrink the more bullets fly. Yeah, people don't take anything as a joke now. Everything's a personal affront. Everything is, it's just, I think that's what bothers me the most is we've made everything like so deathly serious. But then things that should be taken seriously become jokes, right? And it's just like, I don't think there's any, I think the internet has made us very disconnected from each other, and everything is just, something that happens to somebody else somewhere else on a screen, and we laugh at it and upvote it or downvote it or whatever. Okay, yeah, sorry, we got the unreachable. Yeah, I know. Lord of Raisins, thank you. The fact that something as tame as Clownfish TV talking about cartoons warrants death threats show how far we've slipped as a society. Yeah, we've been getting threats pretty much regularly since the beginning. Now, again, this is one of those things where I'm like, most of them I don't think are credible, but we actually have gotten authorities involved in some cases. It's just it's wild, and I know where a lot of where it's coming from. It's coming from Reddit. There's a certain forum where they had all of our kids' information out there, and I didn't appreciate that. But then the weird thing is a lot of these people get things wrong. But yeah, we used to get like pretty much every day, like Instagram and our email, our business email. We used to get all kinds of garbage in that, which is so weird. And it's basically they're like, I don't know if anybody's going to actually do anything. I mean, we are milquetoast. And like I said, up until recently, I was a Democrat. Like I don't hate anybody. I just think that, acting like a nut, I'm going to call you out for acting like a nut, right? And when you act like a nut, you're basically proving us right. It's so damn weird. Like I don't even go into, neither one of us goes into like, gender ideology or anything. I think that the most spicy we've gotten on is like, isn't it kind of weird that we have, Drag Time Story Hour and Blues Clues? I mean, why do we need that in Blues Clues, for God's sake? And that's about it. Like, you do you, boo. I don't really care. As long as you're not doing anything illegal, you're not hurting anybody else. It's really none of my business. But yeah, we and it was mostly cartoon stands. We got these cartoon stands, and I believe rival YouTubers. I don't think anybody in our space necessarily, but there are some other YouTubers out there that were like completely obsessed that we exist, and I don't understand that. I'm like, dude, it's not my fault if nobody likes your channel. Like, I didn't do anything. And these are the same people who think that we all hang out together. Like, everybody that talks about this stuff hangs out together in like one room, and that's not true at all. Thank you, didn't have to do that. Rogue, it's pharmaceutical. Everyone's a test subject. Yeah. I was like, I didn't even like dismiss the vaccine at first. I'm just like, yeah, I would like to see more testing, and I'm not high risk, so I'm going to just hold off on that. And unfortunately, we've seen people have problems. My wife had problems for about a year. She had some physical problems that they tried to tell her were not because of that. And it turned out later that, yeah, it was because of that. I have a really good friend of mine had some heart problems after it. A guy that we worked with, who's also a friend of mine, had a clot taken out of his leg. And the most horrible thing was a guy I used to be really, really good friends with died. He died like 2 weeks after he got the shot. I don't think it's a coincidence. I'm just saying, So me personally, like any kind of new whatever, it's like, you know what? You first. You test it out first. I will come around to it if I feel like it. I just did not like that the government was trying to force us to inject something into our bodies that we didn't know what the full, damage could be for that. So, Roadkill, thank you. Politico has a great article summarizing the issue. I'll have to look into it. Snopa Publishing. It's like Tipper Gore daydream of dystopian censorship. Also, shout out to Massive Panda. All right, Massive Panda. Thank you very much. All right, so let's see where we're at here. How much time we got? We got about 15, 20 minutes. Oh, hey, Kevin says, I'm curious as to your opinions on whether libertarianism could make a comeback, sort of hermit crabbing in the now emptying Democratic Party. Or is there a possibility of a third-party foothold? I am actually a registered libertarian. I keep telling people that. They keep thinking I'm like super MAGA, and I'm not. I think anybody that's listening to me knows I'm just kind of like whatever. I have been a libertarian, but I'll be the first one to tell you that I think the Libertarian Party is a meme at this point. I don't think we have serious candidates. I don't think we have anybody that actually could. I mean, it's basically like I don't agree with the Democrats or the Republicans. I got nowhere else to go. So I wind up with the Libertarians. That's basically what happened to me. Like, I don't agree 100% with either side. There used to be more nuance. Now it just seems like, especially with the binary party system, that you have to agree 110% with the most extreme voices in those parties. And I don't. But that being said, the Libertarians have a snowball's chance in hell of winning anything because the people they run are a joke. A lot of them. Am I allowed to say that? Am I allowed to say that the party I'm in? There we go. Yeah. Thank you for the shout out. All right. Let's see. Roadkill says, yeah, doctor overuse in the second trimester seems key. Well, I think, a lot of things we don't know what the long-term, and again, I'm just very cautious anyway when it comes to medicine because I know there's a massive, obviously a business component to it. So a lot of things for me, and this is, again, do not take my advice because I'm not a doctor. But I think a lot of the stuff that we do just as, sound medicine is mostly about getting us hooked on some kind of subscription service. You're subscribing to tests that maybe don't need to be done or don't really cause any benefit or create any benefit and actually cause you discomfort or the potential of death or harm. You subscribe to medicine, you subscribe to healthcare because you're afraid of something happening and you going bankrupt because the healthcare is so unaffordable. I mean, it's a whole set of issues here. So anyway, let's see. Shaman, is it Shaman? Says, do you think they're going to start banning anime? Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, remember how crazy the last libertarian candidate was? Yeah, we had a guy before that ran as a wizard. And I'm like, come on, could you at least pretend? Could you at least pretend like we're an actual party, right? I mean, that's the thing that gets me. It's like everybody's just like, they're just like, yeah, whatever, we're not going to win anyway, so we'll just we'll just run the most ridiculous candidates. I'm like, if you guys actually got serious, if libertarians actually got serious and said, look, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to run these people, and these are electable people, then yeah, there might be, but at this point, it just feels like a meme, and it's kind of embarrassing. I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm a libertarian, whatever. Sorry. Anyway, let's talk about this real quick. The Mandalorian and Grogu trailer shows Disney still doesn't get Star Wars. Here's the thing. Nobody watched it. I mean, I can't say nobody. They got almost 8 million views in 24 hours or 23 hours. The problem with that is that's nothing compared to what Star Wars used to get. The Force Awakens got 112 million views in the first 24 hours, which is insane. The Star Wars Celebration trailer in 2023 got 83.5 million views in the first 24 hours. The Mandalorian and Grogu only got 7.9 million. And I don't think anybody cares about this. That's my personal opinion. I think most of the comments that I've seen, I talked about it in the video last night. It's all like, it just looks like another episode of the show, right? So why am I going to go to the theater to go see another episode of the show? And I mean, I like the AT-AT, and that was about it, but it looks murky. Yeah, this is about the only thing I liked from it was the AT-AT bit. I'm like, okay, that looks like Star Wars. for about 30 seconds. But people point out it doesn't even look as good as Andor. It doesn't look as good as even other episodes of The Mandalorian. And I don't think it's going to do well. I think we're looking at another Solo. I think it's going to be a huge flop. That's my personal opinion. You're free to come back and be like neener. But what's so weird to see now is that the left is turning on it too because of Jimmy Kimmel. It's not even because Star Wars sucks. Because remember, just a couple months ago, if you point out that Star Wars sucks now, you were a Nazi, bigot, fascist, homophobe, blah blah blah, whatever. If you don't like the Acolyte, you hated gay people and black people and all this other ridiculous nonsense. But now, because of Jimmy Kimmel, it's okay to hate Star Wars. It's freaking weird, man. It's just weird. It looks like Fraggle Rock. I was thinking it looks like Mac and Me. Like, it's just all like Baby Yoda antics. I'm like, you are way late to that party, man. So let's talk about cozy games, because I got to actually move here. We're going on an hour. Pal World's going to do a cozy game that looks kind of like Animal Crossing. Pal Farm. I like Pal World. Pal World's fun. So they're doing Pal Farm. And then we're going to talk about how Sweet Baby Inc. somehow still exists and is, it looks pretty cute. Oh, it looks like Harvest Moon. So you don't gun them down with a machine gun. So they somehow still exist. And they're talking about how problematic cozy games are. It's all about colonialism. So I got to see what the rationale is. But yeah, even the font and everything, even the word balloons, all this stuff looks like, it totally looks like Animal Crossing. I'm sure Nintendo will sue them for that too. 100%. Oh, there we go. We got a chainsaw. Oh, I thought they were going to murder somebody with it. That'd be kind of fun. Oh, we killed that guy. Oh my God, that's Ganon. I'm suing. Wait, what? He's going to blow his brains out. Okay, that looks like fun. That looks like fun. Anyway, here we go. Sweet Baby Inc. wants to decolonize cozy games. Tristan J. Tarwater, they, them. And this is on their website? No, it's a game devs of Color Expo. What's so cozy about doing chores when you're at the center of the universe? Tristan J. Tarwater will delve into cozy games and how they uphold values of colonialism and their mechanics and narrative. More than just being about vibes, cozy games project an idea of what is safe and rewarding for players and often promote values of capitalism by rewarding individualism and consumption. What makes them satisfying for many can also make things uncomfortable for marginalized people. By exploring and questioning the definitions and values of cozy games and even colonialism, we can make cozy games even cozier. So cozy games, which are the least offensive games out there. So I'm sure, what's next? Puzzle games? Puzzle games stress me out. They're too hard and it's racist because, something. I mean, come on, guys. Where do you draw the line? Capitalism is good. Capitalism is good. There's my libertarian streak coming out. Capitalism is good. I think sometimes you need guardrails, but I think the market always self-corrects. And I think a lot of the problems we run into is we don't allow the market to self-correct. We have interference. We have government interference, social interference. It doesn't let the market correct. If something's going to fall flat in its face, let it fail, right? This is ridiculous. So this is coming from Kotaku in Action on Reddit. The one original genre that appeals to their audience, and they somehow find a way to get mad over it. Yes, there's a reason people see Sweet Baby Inc. and immediately go, I'm not buying this. Seriously, every loser who identifies as non-binary and in real life eat and drink Stardew Valley and games like it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's so weird. These people are so constantly looking for battles, they always eventually turn on their own and eat themselves. Losers honestly really need to go touch grass. God, this is insane. So speaking of lists, and Sweet Baby Inc., definitely kicked off what they call it, Gamergate 2.0, which are still going on about in the media, by the way. Just go look for articles. They're still ranting about it. They're still blaming Gamergate for Trump coming back. It's so weird. But gamers do take notice of things they don't like in games. They've got the Charlie Kirk list out there, and apparently they're adding more games to it. For those of you who don't know, the Charlie Kirk detected list is basically a list of developers who have had employees or the company themselves or whatever make really shitty comments after the assassination, and people are saying don't buy these games, or at least be aware that this is what these developers support. And I think you're going to find a lot of the games on this list are like cozy games, right? We have Super Lesbian Animal RPG. Sounds like my game, right? Hive Swap, Caravan Sandwich. That one kind of shouldn't have surprised me. Usually you can tell, I hate to be that guy, but you can kind of tell by the art style, right? Like you look at a game, I'm like, oh, there's a lot of purples and pastels and soft lines and everybody's thick and diverse. So this is probably like one of those games. I would love very much to have a game that is like it looks like that, but it's actually completely hardcore badass pro-capitalism. I should make that. We should make that. We should make like a game that looks like a Tumblr game, but it's just like the most hardcore based badass game ever made. That just to throw people for a loop. But there's a lot of games on this list already. Was Helldivers on the list? Is that why I got it for $5? Hold on. Let me see here. This is coming from Fandom Pulse. Nope, guess not. Okay. Well, I know they've had problems. Subnautica 2's on the list. God. Fallout, Tomb Raider, Power Wash Simulator 2. So here are the recommended games. These are the games that either stayed out of it or actually said, hey, it's not cool to kill people. 50 games are recommended. Legends of Mythology, Along Came a Dragonfly, DayZ, Afterlife Reverie, Soul Ash 2, Aqua Dream, Lords of the Fallen, Tainted Grail, Great Rebellion, All's Fair in Dust and Air. Let's see if I know. Soul Ash, Silica, Kingdom Come Deliverance, Ire, Climb Out, Project Haven, Trouble in Paradise, Victory Heat Rally, which I have and I haven't played that yet and I really want to. There aren't very many. I mean, look, the list of developers saying shitty things, including Final Fantasy 14. Here we go. Let's go out and look. 28,000 followers. So that'll be the next thing. They'll be like, oh, this is Gamergate 3. You just wait for it. Developers that celebrated September 10th, part 2. See if there's anything I've been playing. Yeah, that one I actually liked. Oh, well. I mean, look, my thing is like, my threshold is like, I don't necessarily boycott a game because the developer said something stupid or insensitive or whatever, right? I do believe people have a right to free speech, but if the people are actually going out there and like taking glee in murder or trying to get people canceled for stupid shit, I'm kind of like, if you're going to promote cancel culture, it's going to come for you. It's going to boomerang back and hit you. And if you just like not participated in it in the first place, people might have given you more of a pass when you exercise your right to free speech. But some of these people are calling for violence, right? And I can't say who said what or did what or whatever, but they were keeping lists on Reddit of people that they thought should be next, which is absolutely insane. And I'm sorry, I can't get on board with that. That's ridiculous. Let's see here. We'll do a couple more super chats, move on to the last segment. I'm a very, very poor live streamer, just so you know, and I freely admit that. But that's okay. I'm not going to pretend like I'm like, oh, we got the show and I got the whole thing. No. This is like, I'm going to turn on the mic, turn on the camera and see where we go. I get this one, Roadkill VT. Remember when being Republican was so popular that George Bush Sr. won after Reagan and was set to win the second term, then Rand Paul split the vote? It was Ross Perot, I think, split the vote. Yeah, Ross Perot got into it. And I remember that. That was weird. It was like we had a 3-way presidential debate. And has that happened since? I feel like that hasn't happened since. I remember Dana Carvey used to be him on SNL. And that is what happened. We basically had, I think back then we started to see kind of the division, between even on the right, that there were like two rights. You had like the more conservative religious right, and then you had the people that were more fiscally conservative. And they started kind of fracture, right? And now we've got the same thing going on the left, where we have people that are like, your typical run of the mill liberals, and then we have people that are like raving lunatics, activists, and violence is cool. And I can't get on board with that. Sorry. Lord of Raisins, thank you. Did not have to do that. Sweet Baby Inc. literally tried to say seasons and calendars are pro-colonialism. Then they tried to plug Tales of the Shire, a game they worked on, as an example of an inclusive, cozy game. Wasn't Tolkien problematic, though? And you're giving money to the Tolkien estate or whatever, Embracer Group now. Yeah, that kind of crashed and burned too, didn't it? Tales of the Shire. Feels like it did. NXRD, thank you. Didn't have to do that. The irony of Sweet Baby Inc. is their ilk being cultural colonizers telling us about colonization. It's palpable. It is very weird. People who, we're talking about like, they're literally committing violence against us with words. And then they're like, oh yeah, it's cool to kill people. Like, no, it really isn't. Let's see here. We'll talk about Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll CEO on the blockbuster implications of Demon Slayer Infinity Castle. It's now undeniable how big anime has become. Yeah, this is going to be a problem because the bigger it becomes, the more they notice, the more control people want to have over it. And Infinity Castle, just destroyed the competition. It's absolutely insane. I know the first movie, I think it did almost twice what the first movie did opening weekend. They said, yeah, the corporate realignment that's been vindicated by Infinity Castle. Sony handled the release in the U.S. and most markets outside Japan. Aniplex co-produced in Tokyo with UFO Table, and Crunchyroll activated its deep ties with fandom worldwide. Crunchyroll, okay. Close collaboration, blah, 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 blah. So it's basically corporate product is what they're saying. The story is really good. Demon Slayer is really good, but they're talking about it from a corporate angle. They said the incredible results of this film show the growing global appeal of anime, but it wasn't just dedicated fans who come out to theaters, but a wide range of moviegoers. Contributing in no small part to the success is the strong partnership between all these corporate groups. And they said, is it Raul Purini? Is that who's in charge of Crunchyroll now? He said that Infinity Castle represents a professional milestone as well as a watershed moment for anime's community of artisans, veteran of Funimation since 2015. They helped oversee the Sony-led consolidation of anime streaming in North America before being elevated to president in 2022. His mandate has been to scale Crunchyroll into a global player while staying true to the authenticity of anime culture. So I think they're going to, they've noticed. Netflix has noticed. And this is what I'm concerned about is they're going to start drawing conclusions. Okay, let's link furry culture, dirty Steam games. And, they draw an anime style. Okay, that's anime. Now we're going to crack down on anime. And they're trying to do it. They're trying to do it in other countries. Australia has really been putting the ban hammer down on anime. Oh, these characters all look young, so we have to ban it. You know what I'm saying? Even if they're not. Anime... You can have a 45-year-old man look young in an anime. It's I was watching weirdly enough Saint Tail reruns on Retro Crush. I love Retro Crush, and they had Saint Tail reruns, and they had was it Junior? Is that the detective guy? His dad, and he looked like he was a 12-year-old with a mustache. It's like, but he's supposed to be like 40 some years old. It's crazy, but I think the bigger it gets, I think the more people are going to pay attention to it. And I am concerned. I have concerns because I think a lot of the wrong conclusions are going to be drawn from recent political events. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. And I'm sure if I'm wrong, everybody will rub my face in it, Let's see here. Have you seen this? So whoops, I guess I just spoiled it. This is what the Joker is going to look like, an absolute Batman, I guess. I was kind of on the fence about reading it. I don't know if I'm interested in reading it. I don't know if it's a one-off. Is this like a story where the Joker becomes a demon? Nah, I'm good. This is lame. That's my personal opinion. My personal opinion is this is incredibly lame. It does nothing to incentivize me to want to read Absolute Batman. Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm not into it. Big Ultimate Green Goblin vibes. Yeah. I like this. So you have a wacky arch villain reinvention for the modern era for me? Yes, sir, I do. We're going to make him a devil monster. Oh, devil monsters are tight. So it's going to be a real struggle for Batman to beat him, right? Oh, no, it's going to be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Pretty much. Yeah, I don't know. I thought Absolute Batman was supposed to be a more realistic take on Batman. And we got devils and stuff. I don't know. He's missing half his body. Yeah, he is. Where's his other leg? Where's his organs? This is probably AI. Lauren says unemployment rate's the highest in 4 years. Yeah. I don't know. Help. I don't know. It's look, I'm going to tell you just off the cuff as a business owner, I can actually tell in real time how people feel about spending money. And right now they don't feel real good about spending money. I mean, I don't think that's a partisan thing. I think just in general, people don't feel real good about spending money. There's not a lot of money. This is why I think the movies are not doing well. People are very choosy about what they go see. And, yeah, you know, it's not great right now. Now, this version of Batman, I do like. I love the costume. I think this is great. I was really missing the blue. And this one I'm going to check out, the new Batman series. I just haven't had time. But I'm going to check it out because it actually does look like fun. But it sold 500,000 copies, apparently. So, which, I mean, that sounds good. But remember, back in the day, 500,000, that was like a Tuesday. That was like a mid-range Marvel title sold 500,000 copies. They used to cancel comics that sold under 400,000 copies. And that just shows like where we're at right now with the comic book industry, that things are not real good. And it is just an item to be sold in specialty shops to a dwindling number of middle-aged men who basically buy variant covers. I mean, that's the truth. It's the truth, right? Like the black and gray Batman. Yeah, we've been doing that for a while. Yes, Jimmy Kimmel is back on the air. Yes, he is. It's going to be really interesting to see what is going to happen tonight. I think a lot of people are going to tune in that normally wouldn't tune in just to see if he, sticks it to his political adversaries. I don't know. So apparently this is going around. Fleetwood Mac is not playing J.K. Rowling's birthday party. That was a thing. Well, we're down Christine McVie. So she passed away, unfortunately. They said they last played together at UCSF Benioff Children's Hospital in San Francisco on November 19th, 2019. Then Christine McVie died in 2022. And they said that they weren't going to get back together because they can't replace her. I mean, they're in their 70s. They're all in their 70s right now. Yeah, right. This is... I love Fleetwood Mac. I really do. And it's so weird. My kids love Fleetwood Mac, and they did not know that Fleetwood Mac was their grandmother's favorite band, actually. She went to go see them in concert many times. We lived in the Bay Area, and I think they went probably at least 3 times, at least 3 or 4 times back then. So, yeah. That's not going to happen. They're not going to be on the wrong side of history, right? It's so weird, though. J.K. Rowling is the most canceled person ever. Like, for all the talk of canceling J.K. Rowling, you can find Harry Potter stuff in like every toy aisle and the food aisle, whatever. But if you have anything to do with Harry Potter and you're working in comics or working in tabletop games, they're going to come after you. They're going to come after you hard. It's so weird to see. It's like, yeah, but you're not harassing Lego, are you? You're not harassing Hershey Chocolate, are you? Right? You're just harassing this game dev or this small tabletop gaming company. Who is Fleetwood Mac again? Google them. They were huge back in the 80s. So I think I'm pretty much just going to wrap it up. I don't know. I've been going longer. Usually we go about an hour on these. Again, this is just kind of us, covering some stories that maybe don't warrant their own video. And I don't want to hang on here for like 8 or 10 hours or whatever. Oh yeah, Silent Hill F has a new launch trailer. People say it's really good. They said it's absolutely terrifying though, but it's supposed to be pretty good. It's probably gonna be a huge hit. Be a huge hit. I would check out Niche Gamer. I had this pulled up. They're one of the few like straight up, mostly unbiased game sites out there. And it's actually one of my favorite video game sites. It actually might be my favorite video game site. So I would check it out. This is what gaming sites all used to be like, where we just talked about games and we'd only talk about politics if it overlapped with games. But now we had trailers for new games and a lot of games on here that you probably never heard of because Kotaku and Polygon aren't talking about them because it doesn't get the clicks that they want, right? Does he do this every weekday? Me? No, I don't know. It depends. We're gonna see. We're gonna see how it goes. I'm gonna try to stream every day or every other day for about a month and see if you guys like it. If you guys don't like it, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna force you to watch me, and I don't want to be like, on here for 4 or 5 hours a day every day, like rattling the tin cup, because this is not how I roll. But yeah, there we go, guys. I really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you very much. And for those of you who are watching the, I guess, taped version of DREZZED, you can find it on YouTube. You'll be able to find it on Spotify. We'll put the audio version up on Spotify, so check that out. And go out to news.clownfishtv.com. Maybe I need to put that up here. Hold on, I'll pull this up. News.clownfishtv.com. And get notified when we post new videos, because YouTube is not notifying people. We also have paywalled content. The plan for this is we're going to do more podcasts, like exclusive. We have a couple series we're working on. We're going to do a paranormal one. We're going to talk more about the 80s and 90s and just do some more fun stuff over there. But for some reason, YouTube doesn't like that. YouTube likes complaining. YouTube likes people complaining about stuff. And AI. That's basically what's going on. Thank you very much, Larry. This is what happens, Larry. You have to. Thanks for the workplace atmosphere. Well, you're very welcome. I actually have more atmosphere. I have a whole bunch of arcade machines on here. I should just like turn them all on so you guys could hear the Turtles theme song and the Galaxian and all that stuff. That'd be kind of fun. That'd be kind of fun to do. I am going to do, I don't know if I'm going to do it over here or do it on the gaming channel, but we actually do have a bunch of arcade games, pinball tables and all kinds of stuff in the game room. And I might take people over there and, play some games and stuff. Because believe it or not, I actually like this. I actually like this stuff. I'm not just a grifter. I actually love this stuff quite a bit. So there we go. All right. Going to wrap it up. Please subscribe. We'll have more videos coming later today. Hopefully Geeky will be in them when she comes back. Talk to you later.